So if she got what is called having potholes in her ass, most Jakes understand what that is. That means that woman committed adultery a lot, meaning she have sex with other men or multiple men outside the man that she is with. You see, so this is Numbers 5 and 23. It says, "And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causes the curse." It says, "And the water that causes the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand and shall wave the offering before Yahweh and offer it upon the altar." It says, "And the priest shall take an handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar, and after shall cause the woman to drink the water." It says, "And when he have made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled and have done trespass against her husband," it says, "that the water that causes the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thighs shall rot, potholes, cellulites." It says, "And the woman shall be a curse among her people." And the thing is that it's being done spiritually, because women are not taking, men are not keeping this custom. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, women are still catching cellulites. And I think, yeah, it was an old video. Dr. Oz, you know what I'm saying? He did a video that cellulites do come from women having multiple sex partners. But remember, a woman is not supposed to deal with multiple men. That's what makes them a hoe. You see, you don't like that word, stop doing it. You know, and uh, when it come down to it, cellulites do occur because a woman has sex multiple times and stuff, or not multiple times, but with multiple men. That's why their legs look nasty. You know, yeah, they can be thick and whatnot and stuff. They can have the onion, the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Teardrop. They can have all that and stuff. But the thing is that they got those dents in their lower part of their body and whatnot and stuff. And some women and stuff, they get, because a woman can, she could be chunky. I seen smooth chunky women or chubby women before. You know what I'm saying? And they just either get the folds and the back fat and whatnot and stuff, or they arm move when it swings, right? But when the lower half, they still have smooth legs. That's back before guys started taking a chance on dealing with chunky women, which is a curse, according to Isaiah the 3rd chapter. For a woman to be fat, that's a curse. You know, because you get pregnant, you gain weight because you're eating for two and stuff. But a lot of that goes down on its own. Your belly don't stay that way. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's only big because the baby's within your womb. You know what I'm saying? Right? So this is verse 27. Yeah, once again, it's some chunky women out there and stuff, and they got smooth legs. Why? Because they don't be committing adultery, or they damn they don't be having sex like that. You see? And most of the time they tend to have sex like that. What if they a butterface, ugly, whatever, because niggas like their own kind. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat. The thing is, niggas like what they like. If she's dealing with one dude, you know what I'm saying, that nigga leave her, whatnot and stuff, whether if he's trash, whatever, or stuff didn't work out and whatnot, you know, she's more than likely only having sex with other men that she wants to become, boyfriend and girlfriend with, you see. But these women and stuff who got the bodies, what he don't know won't hurt him, you know what I'm saying, and this man got more benefits than your actual husband that you with, you know what I'm saying, or you got 5 guys and all that side dude shit and stuff, you are an adulterous woman. You see, you are an adulterous woman. And it's a Northern Kingdom woman and stuff. She either Ephraim, Hispanic, whatever, right? And Iskar, and she was on World Star Hip Hop, which I like to call Judgment TV, and she was saying how to manipulate men, but that manipulation of men and stuff, she's giving that ass up. She's having sex, and that's not just sex, through the vagina. You know what I'm saying? It's sex period. Meaning that you could, because you got a lot of white girls, you know what they do? They sit up there and be like, they'll try to save their chastity for so-called marriage and whatnot and stuff, right? And they'll probably blow rod, you know what I'm saying, they'll probably blow rod and whatnot and stuff, or what they'll do and stuff is that they'll engage in anal sex. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? You still get the rotting of the thigh. You see? Because you having forbidden sex when it come down to anal sex. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that and stuff, you probably sucking a bunch of guys off and whatnot. And just because you don't get nutted in and skeeted in, you know what I'm saying, doesn't mean that you don't have that man's spirit on you. You see? You know? You know? Because it's a spiritual thing. Sex is not just physical. It feels good. You know what I'm saying? But it's a spiritual connection that goes on. That's why a man can deal with multiple women and he ain't gonna act like none of them. He gonna act like himself. But if he deal with those women and stuff a lot, all of them gonna have his spirit on. You see, and it showed you that in Deuteronomy 24th chapter, where it talks about her spirit, that her spirit should be defiled, or that she will be defiled for dealing with another man. You see, you know. So this is keep reading this verse 28. Well, verse 27, it says, and when he had made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled and have done trespass against her husband, we found in sin. And we saw in that Sirach, the 23rd chapter and stuff, she doing 3 things off one action. Actually 4, you know what I'm saying? Because the scriptures talk about, you know, if well, it's referring, it's just talk. Well, it says when it comes down to a man, if a man looks upon a woman and lusts after her, he committed adultery already. Well, it's the same way when it comes down to you women. If you look upon another man and you lust after him, wondering, because you see his print and you like, oh, I wonder, how that would feel, or what he'll do, or he'll be more muscular than your husband and whatnot, and you wondering how you gonna woo to woo, or you probably hearing them knocking boots and stuff in the next door and stuff, and you over there fantasizing. Guess what? You've committed adultery as well. You see? But it's going to be the physical action that actually happens in order for those thighs to rot. You see? But then if you're thinking about having sex with another man and you have a man already and whatnot, you commit sin already. Because when the time and opportunity comes, that man is adulterous, you giving that ass up. Then that's when them cellulites and stuff can pop up in your thighs and your ass. You see? So it says, that the water that causes the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell. You're gonna get that little pouch that no matter how much lower abdomen exercise you do, it just won't go. You're gonna always have that curve, and it's had a pouch right there. It says, and her thighs shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people, because the rotting of the thighs and whatnot and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody is going to know that you committed adultery. Verse 28, and if the woman be not defiled, but be clean, that she shall be free and shall conceive seed. It says, this is the law of jealousies, when a wife goeth aside to another instead of her husband, and is defiled. It says, meaning that you had 2 different rods in you. No training, No taking turns, none of that. Right? Verse 30, it says, or when the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous over his wife, and shall set the woman before the Lord, it says, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity. You see, you know, you know, So, a woman, she can't divorce. She cannot divorce her husband. She can't do it, and that's through sex. If you like it, put a ring on it. If you like it, put a ring on it. That bullshit. You can decorate your wife if you want to. You look good. You want her to look good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But if you put a ring on the ring finger, you all are not married. Y'all married until you ookling booking it in hopefully not in the bushes, but you know what I'm saying, how the urge is and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But really you supposed to be doing that in a secretness in your house. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit up here and it's like, yeah, I'm bending her over the balcony and everybody can hear her and whatnot and stuff. She might like the rush or the feeling of getting caught and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that no other man's supposed to see how your woman look when she's naked. You see? You know? You ain't supposed to be sharing your sexual secrets and stuff with your boys, or for your females with your girls, unless you want your friends, you females, unless you want your friends to be your husband's second and third and fourth wife. You see, because the times we're coming in, you women are going to share one penis, one rod. It ain't gonna be the other way and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's the other way, you get destroyed. You see? And all right, I said I was going. This is Leviticus 10. Bear with me. 10. Nah, it's 10. This is Leviticus 20 and 10. It says, "And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife." Now, a neighbor is another Israelite, but it says with another man's wife, meaning period. And what's the example of that? When he came down to Joseph, and you had Pharaoh's wife, she was liking on Joseph because he was getting clout pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He was getting famous, even though he was second in command. And that's how women are opportunists. You know what I'm saying? Because here it is, she's married to the king of Egypt, and she's ready to throw all that way and stuff just so she can deal with the second in command because he's building up in fame. You see, and what happened was that she was trying to get Joseph to sleep with her and stuff, and he was like, "Nah, I ain't doing that." You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, well, she probably would have been like, "But look, you're an Israelite, and I'm a Egyptian and whatnot and stuff. I'm not underneath your laws and whatnot." And it's like, yeah, that may be true and stuff, but I'm underneath the law. So if I deal with you, because that was the first covenant, we're underneath grace now, but you still shouldn't be doing this, right? The thing is that uh, uh, uh she wanted to deal with Joseph. Joseph was like, nah. It's like, look, you might not be underneath the law, statutes, commandments because you a heathen, but if I commit this act with you and stuff, I go off against my power. You see, right? It says Leviticus 20 and 10, it says, "And that man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and adulteress shall surely be put to death." You see, this is a sin. Well, all sin is the wages of death, as it says in Romans 6 and 23. You know what I'm saying? Just for you people and stuff who want to try to weigh out sin. Now, you don't do it at all. Remember, your life is on the line for this, right? And I know I wasn't gonna go to it, but this is Deuteronomy 22. No, I just want to get some straight points. Um, and if you were a woman right now, you know what I'm saying, and you see them potholes in her ass, whether if it be few or many, you know what I'm saying, uh, uh, you know, hey, you just gonna have to have faith on it. You know what I'm saying? Continue, if you want to deal with her, deal with her. If you don't, then guess what? Be sure, if you just need some space from her, do that. You know what I'm saying? If you still love her, if you just need some space from her, do that. But other than that, don't break up with her, because then you ain't supposed to get back with her. Because then you'll be going off, you know? Bear with me. All right, so uh this Deuteronomy 22, because I'm gonna have to bring the whole point. This Deuteronomy 22 and 13. It says, if any man take a wife and go in onto her, meaning have sex, it says, and hate her. It says hate her, meaning verse 14. It says, and give occasion of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. And that maid is talking about a woman who didn't have sex, which we're going to, I believe, uh, I think it's like I get them mixed up. You got Bothwaller, and then you got uh, Ilama. And one means young woman, and the other one means a woman that didn't have sex. Now, this is referring to a woman who didn't have sex before, you see? Right? Verse 15, it says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. It says pretty much court, right? 16, it says, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife. You see? So that shows that your father is supposed to choose your husband. Look what happened when it come down to women choosing their husbands. They got a long list of shame. That's where them cellulites come in, because she has the choice to do so. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right. And the thing is that that's also one of the reasons why, men be worried about having daughters and stuff, because they see how other women that they get with, and they don't want that. The porn star, what's her name, Pinky? It was an interview where her father, through his friends, saw that it was his daughter and whatnot and stuff, and doing those things and stuff, and he like, yeah, you make money and woo woo, but the whole time that man, it was shameful. And who was the other one? Mia Khalifa. She probably wrapped it up with her family, but before, her family was like, you ain't my daughter. They disowned her for a while, you see, because it brought shame onto her father. If your daughter is fast, loose, you know what I'm saying? Scripture says if she's like that, if you got a daughter and she's fast, you keep her in straightly. You know what I'm saying? Because she's gonna go out there and bring shame onto you. You know what I'm saying? As a father, and she's gonna bring shame onto herself. But back in the ancient day and stuff, you'll get put to death if something like this would happen. You see? And low key, women are getting put to death for it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they're still doing it. And the Lord, like, look, you ain't finna keep playing with me when I'm telling you the right way to live. Right? And Yahweh Shai are the true gods. Right? So this is verse 16. It says, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife. It says, and he hateth her. It says, and lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, meaning a virgin. It says, a virgin as in never had sex before. It says, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, right? Proof that the hymen has broken. And it says, or that he broke in the hymen. It says, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. It says, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. It says, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he had brought upon an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, a hoe. It says, and she shall, or whore, you know what I'm saying? It says, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Verse 20, it says, but if this thing be true, that she was playing the whore, the hoe, it says, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, meaning that there's no blood on that sheath. You know what I'm saying? And you weren't gonna trick that and just put some red shit on there, red liquid on a cloth. They was gonna know blood has a smell to it. Verse 21, it says, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die. It says, because she have wrought folly in Israel, meaning foolishness, to play the whore in her father's house, bring shame unto him. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. You see? Verse 22, it says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman. It says, in the woman, so shalt thou put away evil from Israel. Verse 23, if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed, right, promised in marriage unto a husband, and a man find her in a city and lie with her, rape. Verse 24, it says, then ye shall bring them both out onto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, meaning being in the city, meaning like, no, I'm taking, you know, I'm supposed to be promised to a man and whatnot, meaning she was down for it. She was down for it, you know. Uh, um, it says, it says in Uh, it says the damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he have humbled his neighbor's wife, meaning another Israelite man's wife. And it says, so, meaning he put his spirit upon her. Now she acting, it says, so thou shalt put away evil from among you. It says, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, you know what I'm saying, like one of King David's sons did with his sisters, it says, then the man only that lay with her shall die. It says, but unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. It says, for he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, meaning she's letting dude know, like, nah, I'm married. I'm engaged with somebody. I'm engaged with somebody. I'm engaged with somebody. It says, and there was none to save her, meaning somebody didn't come through. You know what I'm saying, right? Somebody didn't come through, right? The same thing happened when it came down to Susanna. Verse 28, it says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, meaning have sex, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall, and this is when it's all legit. You know what I'm saying, right? When she's not promised to marry another, you know what I'm saying, right? And this is the law on it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that men of the Lord you know what I'm saying, are going to go out there and stuff and just be taking bitches. We ain't doing that. As it says in Matthew 10-16, it says, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You know what I'm saying? And out and, you got to watch who you stick your dick in and stuff because, for you guys out there and stuff, because a lot of these women are bitches and they don't think they need to change. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if the Lord gonna cause them to change or the Lord gonna kill them. You see? They can be thoughts all they want to and whatnot and stuff, but the Lord is not tolerating that. You see? I'm right here. This Deuteronomy 23:17. It says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. And sodomite is going into sodomy, meaning anal sex. You know what I'm saying? Of course you're not supposed to deal with the same sex. You know what I'm saying? Some people have and stuff in the past or doing it now and stuff, but as it says in First Corinthians, you know what I'm saying, such was some of you. You know what I'm saying? So that means that if you are homosexual right now, or you bisexual, you know what I'm saying, or you transgender and you trying to go into the same sex, even though you trying to be underneath the delusion that you the opposite versus what you was actually born. You know what I'm saying? If you change, you got a chance at mercy. You see? You got a chance at mercy. You know? You stay that way, yeah, you getting blown to bits, especially if you're in America. North America at that, you're gonna get blown to bits if you stay that way. You know? You might be if you stay that way, you might be those same spirits that was in Sodom and Gomorrah. And remember, that was fire and brimstone, meteorites, gigantic ones, on fire, landing on people and their houses and wherever the fuck they were. Destroyed 5 cities. You see? That's on you. That's your soul. You know what I'm saying? Remember that. It's yours. You ain't fucking nobody else over but yourself. Right? But sodomy for even if you're a man and you heterosexual and stuff and you popping your girl in her ass, you know what I'm saying? No, no, that's a big no. You know what I'm saying? You'll be a sodomite. It's like, well, it's a girl, it's a female and whatnot. Well, the Lord said no. You see, and then you also have you guys out there and stuff who like getting pegged by your girl, by the female and whatnot. You will still be a sodomite even though you ain't the one doing the penetration but getting penetrated. You going off for you freaks out there. You see, and it's been a lot of women who into that anal sex. They've been catching shit now. You see, and infections and whatnot in their ass. You see, well, that's pretty much the point. You know what I'm saying? A woman, she can't leave her husband if you commit a adultery. More if she deals with another man, which more than likely if she leaving her husband, she's seeking for another man. So guess what? You going off. If you bring in an heir and stuff, you're doing about one offense and stuff. You're doing multiple things. You see, you know. And then through the spirit and whatnot, if you got them potholes, them dents in your legs and in your butt cheeks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? With the little pudge and whatnot, for some reason you doing lower exercise and stuff and it just won't flatten, we know why. That means that you either, if you with your man right now and stuff and you not dealing like that no more and you not like that, then cool. You know what I'm saying? But if you are dealing and you trying to be low key and stuff, guess what? The Lord is going to show signs and stuff within your body. Or once again, the Numbers, the 5th chapter, that man will get the spirit of jealousy. And the thing is that, yeah, you women, y'all just like, we know how to cheat better. No, you know how to lie. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, which is not cool. You know what I'm saying? To do it and stuff, it's not a custom to get used to, right? Um, you will show. You will show. The Lord gonna bring it to light and whatnot and stuff. Your ass gonna slip up and say somebody else's name, or you're gonna get sloppy, you see? And it's gonna get caught up, you see? So I hope this video was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua HaRakakodash. Double honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to your elect, which you ought to be. Shalom, wa Baba Kwam Yasharala.